whoever will win this tournament, they will look back and see how they managed to manage their squad. How did you keep people going? I think what speaks for England is that they got potential match winners in there. We've seen that all games now is down to individuals doing something special, which it is in tournaments, and especially in the tournaments when there are more an open game.
Hi and welcome to the Fussball Channel. I'm your host Markus Fjørtoft, and as always joined by co-host Jan Fjørtoft, who's going strong in Austria following the conclusion of round one in the group stages. 12 games played, 34 goals scored, 34 different goal scores, 3 of them own goals, mind you. But Dad, a pleasure. How's it going following, yes, I guess the first round of things? Are you still in good spirits?
I am, because as you're saying, I'm in Austria. I work for Servus TV, sitting from the studio here in Salzburg, in beautiful Salzburg. We are both big fans of this city, Markus. Yes, I'm doing 31 games in 22 days, so it's intense. But I see it as training camp. I do more or less the same thing every day, prepare myself for the game, get some training or games, must be said. So as we're speaking, I'm just off to do after Germany, Hungary today, and it's Scotland against Switzerland. But yeah, it's what you're saying. There is no brace. There are no players who have scored 2 goals, which is unbelievable. And at the moment, the top goal scorer is own goals. And of course, here in Austria, a big sad because they're Maximilian Wöber, who did their own goal against France. Having said that, France got a couple of more chances as well. But that was one of those days, and that you feel that you're just losing because you are a smaller nation, because Scotland will France will find a way to get that goal. So, but still, an euphoria here, Markus, it reminds me a bit of '94 when I was in the World Cup, the smaller nations, and I said it in respect of Switzerland, Belgium, Austria, Norway, and maybe Denmark. It's a big thing as it is for the big nations. But I think, Markus, what we've seen in this first round, as we try to conclude this, is that the top 6 have all won their games. Germany, convincingly, of your Scotland. I see you found your T-shirt for the qualification group. Spain, of course, was very convincing. If we made a power ranking, I guess Spain will be up there beating Croatia. Italy managed to come back against Albania. I warned people about Albania because I saw them in the qualification game. They looked strong. England did what they had to do, let's put it that way. And then France, with an own goal, but still Mbappé could have scored again. And yes, last night, because we are doing this an early morning on the Thursday, Portugal also did what they had to do, is to win a football game. Yeah, I love it, Markus. There are so many, if I may say at the end, because I saw a tweet from you saying there are so many players we get to know, and I think that is the main thing about it, because I'm not the guy who would know every player in the world in details. But I know about them. I've heard about that. I've heard about the Romanian Stancio. I know that he's been traveling around. I know that he played in Arabia. I know he played in China. But did I know that he had a goal in him like the one he did against Ukraine? No, I didn't. So it's brilliant to learn and to be intense on different players.
Yeah, the beauty of the Euros or any tournaments is the nostalgia first and foremost. I bet it takes you back to the earlier tournaments from when you were a kid. Even for me, it started probably with 2002, but 2004, and looking back in terms of, I guess, the purity of which the game is being played. And I've seen that some of the praise, so to speak, that's been given to this tournament is that a lot of the football that's been played is not necessarily counter to one that's being played, but it's a bit different. It's maybe back to it's a bit more back and forth. It's a bit more of a transitional game, and there's no better. I don't think there's a better game or a set of fixtures that better embodies Euros than people marking Georgia Turkey as the best game, let alone
It's
that we're
fantastic.
watching it. Because admittedly, I wouldn't watch a Georgia-Turkey under any other circumstances. But the way the game is played and the intensity that we get to watch it, the atmosphere that's in the stadium, of course, as well. All that combined, I think, was a perfect embodiment of what the Euros and what summer football tournaments are about for me. I don't know how you
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah, but a good point, and we are hungry after a proper tournament because we have had a COVID Euro, we had this Euro traveling around in Europe kind of thing, which was a terrible idea, I think, because you always the tournaments are done for the fans, and you have to respect the fans. And if I may say, that's the only thing you say that Germany is a perfect host for a tournament like this. But I feel for the fans when you have reports that they have to stand or wait for the train. They have to walk to the stadium. They have to get an Uber for 100, 150 euro just to get to the stadium and all that kind of thing. That is not the Germany I know. That is not the Germany that you need. And that's not what UEFA and FIFA doing these tournaments. They always have to make sure that the fans are looked after. But what you also say on the pitch, Markus, I'm with you. It's open. The games are open. It's like they're going forward. There's not. I can find one game that I would think was boring, because you get boring games. But yeah, Romania, Ukraine. There's nothing to say that they're going to be boring, because Ukraine, we know the position they're in. There could be a optimism, there could be a light for the people involved in a war in Europe, as we do in the European Championship, of course. But what a game that was as well. And Romania, wow, that was a big game. And then for a Norwegian market, this is the paradox. In our group, we have Spain winning the group at the Euros, check. We have Scotland second in the group. They're at the Euros, check. Then we have Norway, third in the group, not at Euro, check. Mm-hmm. We have Georgia, fourth in our group, and they're at the Euros. And that was a game, Markus, that I loved, because first of all, 2 goals of extraordinary class. We have Mulder. I had to write it up because the Austrians look after me on this, and the reason I wrote that it was Mulder, because he is educated here in Austria. He is born in Vienna, had his education in the Rapid Vienna Academy, but of course he had he chose to play for Turkey, and what a volley that was. And then you've got Güler, the Real Madrid guy, 19 years of age, just takes the ball, a brilliant curl in the corner. He's the first teenager who have scored at the Euros since Cristiano Ronaldo did the same. So Ronaldo losing a record there, but still, Georgia had 2 great chances, and at the end there, when they put everybody up there, put the pressure on them, hitting the post, hitting the bar, and then at the end 3-1 when they run at an open goal, of course. But I think that is a fair point from you, because that game just summed up the Euro so far. We knew that Germany would come up with something special. We knew that Bellingham will do it for England and so on. But still, fantastic games.
And just in terms of, well, Georgia being an example, we saw them in the group against Norway. I wasn't particularly impressed, even though we did draw them away, and we haven't qualified, so we shouldn't say much. But the point being is, lesser teams up against, generally speaking, stronger teams. We had England against Serbia. Mind you, Serbia have a lot of quality players. We had Slovakia beat Belgium. We had Czech Republic give Portugal a fight yesterday with a bit of a lower block, but even still had to leave it until very late. Just in terms of tournament football, Dad, can you help put into perspective what makes these matchups different? Because under any other circumstances, you know, these teams would have been strong favorites. Belgium went through qualifying undefeated. First loss for Tedesco with Belgium. What makes it different when they're playing under these circumstances? Why maybe we should review England's performance against Serbia under a different lens than perhaps if they played them in qualifying and it was an equal performance, if you get what I'm getting
Yeah,
it.
I do understand. I think that if I'm not 100% wrong, it's 30 years today that we, Norway, played Mexico in the World Cup in USA. You were there. You were just a baby. You were 6 months old.
Thanks for bringing me.
Yeah, but and the reason I put back on that is we found it different when we played Mexico, Ireland, Italy, how to do the game, because you're on neutral grounds. Wow, it's just like a mental thing they're going for you. Because what have we seen in these Euros? Well, 100% I was nervous, and we're still not there. Will something happen? Will there be any demonstration? Will there be any attacks? We're not through yet, but that's all those kind of things, because Europe, part of Europe, is at war at this moment. The reason I put in the political view on this, Markus, is that there is a balance that I love by big tournaments, is that you have the fans traveling. This is a day out. They go there, and they are very, in a positive way, the nationalism, because we are there representing our country. You have the national anthem, and it's not only Italy. Italy is always the gold medalist on national anthem. But you see, they love their anthem. They are so proud to be there, and it's some way that mirror the games, if you know what I mean. Because you go out there, and in a qualification game, you get the same feeling, because you're of course, you want to qualify. It is a game, you represent your country and all that. But in the Euros, it's like I saw some pictures of photos. Yes, we had last night as well. There was a fight between some Georgia fans and Turkish fans. That may happen in like it was yesterday. But the general thing is that there is a passion, there is a energy, there is a positive energy, and somehow that got onto the pitch. I haven't seen, if I take it of my mind now, maybe England, paradoxically enough, England the last 30 minutes, they were passing the ball around to get that win over the line. But except that, in my head, Markus, I haven't seen that waiting kind of game thing. You just feel that every attack, people are going for it. Yeah. They just go for it. And you saw with the Czech Republic, yes, or the Czech yesterday as well, out of nowhere, they are, with Lucas Provoda, is the guy who is scoring the goals for them. And then you feel, well, then they will, this will be a boring game and Portugal won't find a way. But then they got even more intense going forward and get the 2 goals. So I think that is something about the atmosphere, is something about the occasion, is something about every 4th year you have this tournament, and you have this tournament as well here in the middle of Europe, meaning that anyone can put themselves in a car. Yes, it's 16 hours if you live in Bucharest to go to Germany and do that, but you still can do it. And that's a thing that you may be missing if you will have a World Cup far away from Europe. I'm talking about Europe now, because they are the most European kind of city. You will feel, I'm 100% sure that the World Cup, being in Mexico, Canada, USA, will have that would be a fantastic event. There are going to be so many fans there. They will be so proud to host it. But it still won't be the same, because you won't. There's not a chance that you can kind of be in Gelsenkirchen on Tuesday, and then you can travel with a car to Hamburg, and you can still catch a game in Munich the 3rd day. And I think that atmosphere kind of mirror itself on the pitch.
Yeah, and we were obviously big fans of Germany and German football as such, and not surprising to us, but also with the stadiums and the atmosphere and how it is. In terms of concluding this, now we look forward to, obviously, we've got Germany's group here today. We got Germany, Hungary. You got some big games going forward. We got Italy, Spain. We got England, Denmark. We got Netherlands, France, without an Mbappe in the lineup. Who, you mentioned it briefly in the beginning, but what teams, what players have impressed you the most, or what are some of the key insights that you've derived from this first round of fixtures?
Well, let's start with our Germany. I think they had a perfect game. And no disrespect to the Scots, but they were terrible. But if you've seen the last 10 games, I think they had 1 win in 10 games or something. So they went into the European Championship with a bad form, and that kind of went on against Germany. But we'll see. You want Musiala and Wirtz to get going. Check. That is going to happen. You want Füllkrug to get a goal because you know he will play a role as the number 9 as a joker. You want Kai Havertz to get going. So Germany had a perfect game in all sense. You get the country going. Now you're back. People say, yeah, they can go all the way, and that is how things change. And when people maybe listening to this, have played Hungary and maybe they will lose 3-0. Who knows? I doubt it. But still, Nagelsmann, I think that was a great game also for Nagelsmann. He did the right changes. He gave Müller a run out. He gave Füllkrug a run out. And a small thing, Markus, that speaks that I think that Nagelsmann has also taken a step at his management. So Emre Can is kind of not in the first squad. He's disappointed. He's the captain of Dortmund, of course. Say nothing, go on holiday. Then he takes him into the squad again because Pavlovic can't play. And what he's doing is that he puts him on the pitch the last 10 minutes or whatever. He puts him on the pitch just to show you are a part of this team as well. I know you're a leader. I want you to take it because this is a long tournament and Can get on to score. So Germany is taken care of. Spain looked very good, I think. They had some power in their game. We will see in the second part of the championship now, the Spieltag 2, the round 2 of this European Championship. Was it Croatia who was just suddenly getting too old? Or was it Spain being... What about Jamal when he makes the cross for Carvajal, who is a goal scorer now in Champions League?
Man for big moments.
And Jamal is 2 years older than Cristiano Ronaldo's son. And the reason I said that is because there was a social media thing about his son celebrating his birthday. He's 16. They gave him homework for the European Championship.
Crazy.
If I may say a bit for England, Markus, you are even closer to the soul of English football right now because you're based in London, of course. What I feel about England is that first of all, it seems that they lost the game. And I think that is the expectation, which is an expectation of any great football nation. What I think is a big challenge for Gareth Southgate, but I'm sure that he will make the right decisions, is first of all, you have to find a balance. You have to find a balance in the skills you have in the team. Trent Alexander-Arnold is one. Phil Foden, how to get the best out of him. The problem is, of course, that fans, they want all players in. They want every player in the team. They want the best players in the team. But Gareth Southgate's job is to get the best out of the team, not to get the best players in. So the balance I felt is not with Trent Alexander-Arnold playing like that in the big games. I'm not sure that I think that he will.
No,
he will
nor do I think he will play him in the big games.
No, I don't think he will because I'm not having this thing. Well, Declan Rice cost over 100 million, so he should take care of that double six on his own. And we have to also say, Markus, which is quite interesting as well, because Bellingham. I mean, we all love Bellingham. He is the superstar, and the way his attitude and everything. But you have to find a midfield somehow to add around him as well, because he got a mandate to do whatever he wants. And I say that in a positive thing because that's what. Look at the goal. He started it off. He held his hand up, give me the ball, and the ball comes and he bang it in. So to find that thing, but I'm in the debate about Phil Foden. I am a bit with Cesc Fabregas because Fabregas saying that Foden got to do more as well. So I think that yes, you have to do that. You have to take the next step as well. And then it's Gareth Southgate, who, by the way, has a job. There's no way he can succeed. There's no way he can succeed because if he wins in Berlin the 14th of July, people will say anyone could win with his team. It's golden generations. Everybody could do that. And if he's out, it's his fault because he got a golden generation. So Gareth Southgate can win, and he knows that, and that's why he is we say level-headed. He had got a great attitude. He's a great leader. So I just hope that England will find a kind of balance in the team that they will go on.
Yeah, I wasn't particularly impressed by England against Serbia, but then you look at tournament football and the ways it's being played, and it's easy to say maybe to brush over the weaknesses when you win. But even still, I don't think the composition, I don't think the depth on the bench is particularly strong enough. But having said that, there's enough quality there. I am also in the Fabregas camp, who, by the way, had a, I think it shows when you have a tactical insight and analysis, and the tools that Fabregas has to use that, it was pretty good. And I think there needs to be some sort of responsibility as such. You have Bellingham when he performs so well in a 10 like that, it's hard to move him away from that position. But then, like you say, team versus the best individuals in a team, it's a tough one. It's a tough task. And if you were to ask anyone off the street who's the best England team, you'd get so many different answers as well, which just further, I guess, highlights like you say, the jeopardy, the position England manager is.
Don't you think? But you say, Markus, just before we land here, you said that you don't think they have depth enough in the England squad.
Depth meaning
Cole Palmer,
yes, depth, Cole Palmer for sure. But then I think when it comes to the squad depth in terms of also tournament experience, I think that counts for a lot. That's why I was calling for Mats Hummels to be in the Germany squad, and that's why you brought Thomas Müller in, who will come in from the bench. When you have a Phil Foden, who's not a pronounced left winger per se, do I think he should have done better in the game? Absolutely. But then you leave, it's tough because now Southgate's brought all the most informed players, but now people are calling back for bringing the more tournament experience. But you do leave Marcus Rashford, you leave Jack Grealish, you leave Raheem Sterling. Not that they have the most great of seasons, but they have tournament experience, which counts for a lot. And who do you bring on then? And I think when you then bring on a Bowen, a Gallagher, who, by the way, great players, dependable, have legs, is it enough to then push you over the line when you're going up against a Portugal or a France or however the knockout rounds will look? Then I have my doubts, admittedly.
Yeah, but to be devil's advocate, I think that what you need is first of all, for England, they had a clean sheet. That is important for them with a pick forward, with a back four. I think the Stones and Gay did good. Trippier and Walker as well, they were okay.
Yeah.
But I think that the main thing for England is to get the balance right, and then I think you have enough quality in the team to kind of go to the next round. Yes, to the next rounds because I think that the teams you saw. Let's put it another way. You saw Portugal last night. You have Neto, who's just come on, making the assist. Chico, who scored the winner for them, 21 years of age, coming on from the bench. And I think that whoever will win this tournament, they will look back and see how they managed to manage their squad. How did you keep people going? I think what speaks for England is that they got potential match winners in there. We've seen that all games now is down to individuals doing something special, which it is in tournaments, and especially in the tournaments when there are more an open game, because it seems that all have the fundament of passion and going for it, have the energy in the team. So then it's down to individuals. That speaks for England. That also speaks for the match winners in Wirtz or a Musiala. Or it speaks for some Italians. We said it Italy, but by the way, before we land, Markus, I would just say Albania, Italy. That was a hell of a game. Yeah. They're scoring after 23 seconds, and Italy managed to bounce back. And there's something about Italy. It's an old cliche. I feared so when I was doing that game for Servus Tifao to not saying, oh yeah, but they're a good tournament side. They're always there. You know the Italian. They will do the catenaccio. They will keep it going. Because that's not Italy at the moment. That's not how they are. They didn't qualify for the World Cup. Yes, they are the reigning European champion, but they still managed to have that start. So the Big Six have got a great start. I note a bit with Turkey. There's something about that team as well. Çalhanoğlu in midfield. We know him from German football. There is something about that team. I just hope when people listen to this with Scotland, that Scotland will they get their revenge? That's one word. I will say a bit like in the Braveheart, but it's all about our dignity. I think there's something about their proudness. I think there's something about their self-confidence. I think they need, or I think we know they need that, because that was a bit, not bit, but it was embarrassing. You can lose to Germany, but that was the only team so far who have kind of taken a white flag. We have no chance. And mind you, this is a German team of people were not sure how good they were. They had 2 great games in March, okay games now just before the European Championship started. So hopefully when people listen to this, when Markus is sitting there, well, we're off to Germany, that they
need the support.
Hopefully we'll not sit with another T-shirt tomorrow saying we're off to Scotland, because to Scotland, yeah. We are back to Scotland.
No, exactly. No, it was an important game for Germany to do well in as well. You could see the relief with Nagelsmann and the players. There was a sort of an emotional outburst, which hopefully, and I think pretty sure, will set a great foundation for the rest of the tournament. They play Hungary today, and we got Switzerland as well going up against Scotland. We got Albania, Croatia coming up at 2 o'clock my time, 3 o'clock yours. So with that, Dad, that concludes the first round of fixtures in the group stage. We'll be back for round 2. Wish you all the best in studio, and then we'll catch up soon.
We will, Markus. What do I say? Auf Wiedersehen. We are in German.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao, ciao.